Well, everyone, the eclipse came. Everyone came out to see it. Then it went away. And what's the final result? Many people were excited to see it, wearing those special glasses so they can see the moon cover the sun. But did the world end like many have predicted? Did Jesus return as many have predicted? Did all these events take place as like the end of the world or Armageddon? Did any of this take place? No, it didn't. And I want to talk to you guys about that in today's episode. See, the problem that I'm seeing today, and it really bothers me, but I tend to try to have a little bit of understanding when I see this. But all over, we'll say YouTube, we say the news, we see television. Many people are excited to see this eclipse, which is not a problem because it's an amazing sight to see. I remember when I was young and I first seen my eclipse, I thought it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen, where you get to wear those special glasses. But then as I gotten older, many eclipses have come and gone. But not once did I ever say to myself, is this a sign that God is going to end the world the moment this eclipse takes place? And that's the problem what I'm seeing actually on the TV today. And many people miss the big picture, and then they get caught up in a lot of false teachings. A lot of people like to give a lot of people what they want to hear. That the world's going to end, or Jesus is going to return on this day, or we know the exact time and hour or the month when Jesus is returning. And that's the problem that I'm seeing also in the church as well. First thing I want to say is don't listen to these people. What must you do in order to understand truth? You should not go off of what the news tells you. I don't believe 90% of what the news tells me. I'd rather do the research myself and come up with my own conclusion. And that's my point. A lot of people can tell you a lot of things, and then if you fall into that trap, then you're going to be very disappointed when it doesn't happen. What you should do is turn to scripture. What you should do is turn to truth. Many times in the Bible, Jesus talks about and predicts his return, his second coming. But the thing is that Jesus doesn't tell us exactly when he's coming back. If you look in Matthew 24, Jesus goes down the line of what must take place before his return. But still, he doesn't give an idea or an exact time or month when he will return. If you open up in Matthew 24:36, it says, "Nobody knows the day or the hour when these things will happen, not even the angels in heaven or the Son himself, only the Father knows." So none of us on earth knows when Christ is returning. And what's the bigger picture though? What's the point here? The point is that if you know when somebody's returning, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and try to quickly clean up your life, right? And make it seem like you've been living that particular life all your life. No. Jesus will come like a thief in the night when we're unprepared. But what's important is, and what we must do, and what we need practice every single day, is live as if Christ is returning tomorrow. And how do you do that? What you do is that you stay true to scripture. You read the Bible every day. You make sure that it's tattooed onto your heart and in your mind. You keep close fellowship with the Lord. You stay in constant communication, what I mean by prayer. And if you want other people to feel the true value of what Christ and of knowing Christ and having that personal relationship, you go out into the world and you share it. That's one of Jesus' final commands before he went to back to heaven. He told us to go out into the world and make disciples of all nations, preaching the gospel. Why did he say that's important? Because he told us that he's going to return one day. And if we want to be with him for all eternity, we must be prepared. There's not going to be a dial clock in the sky where it's just going to count down. Now, God knows when he's returning, but we don't. We must live our life each day like it's going to be our last. And if you look in 2 Timothy 4:3, it says, "For the time will come when people will not put up with their sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear." That's what I'm seeing all over the media. Many people want to hear that, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. Check out the eclipse. Be prepared, because this is when Christ is coming. This is when Armageddon is going to hit. The world's going to end. Be ready. Some people are scared because they don't know. Some people enjoy hearing the fact that the world's going to end. And some people actually anticipate that Christ is returning. And that's the problem. Many people don't stay into scripture. When you hear things like that, you should immediately put a red flag up and know that that's not true. How would they know when Christ said that nobody knows except for the Father? So what must we do? When we see things like this, just let it go by. Just let it pass, go in one ear and out the other. Don't spread it. What you should do is just continue doing what you've been doing all along. Staying true to the word. Staying true to truth. Now, the Bible does mention in Matthew that there will be a time where the sun does disappear and the moon does lose its light. It says the sun will be darkened and the moon will give no light. The stars will fall from the sky and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Now, there have been many times where the moon has no light and the sun lost its shine. But again, Jesus is telling that these events must take place. So this is another event that's taking place that's getting closer to his return. But again, we don't know the time of the hour. So I want to encourage you to always stay true to the word, stay true to Christ, share the gospel, share the truth, be happy and be thankful that God has given us and continues to give us his opportunity to be in a close fellowship with him. So when that day does come, we'll be ready and be called up to be with him for all eternity. Thank you for listening to G.F.E, God, Family, and everything else. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.